Before ever asking what is real, or why are we here, the Aztecs of central Mexico asked something deeper. How does a moving, fragile universe stay in balance at all? What does it mean to exist in a world that is never still, never static, never certain? What is truth in a cosmos where life and death are woven together like two sides of a single breath? These questions are not foreign to us today, yet for the Aztecs they were woven into the very fabric of existence, a philosophy not written in books, but sung in song and lived in every sunrise and every trembling step upon the earth. To understand this philosophical world, we must first sense the cosmic instability that defined it. The Aztec cosmos was not a calm clockwork universe. It was a realm in motion, a world of Ulan, movement and change, where existence itself was a pulsation, a rhythm of becoming and unbecoming that could neither be frozen nor taken for granted. Nahui Alan, the four movement, names the sun of the age in which the Aztecs believed they lived, a sun defined by motion, by quake and shift, by the ever-present possibility of upheaval. This movement was not disorder. It was the essence of life, a dance between creation and destruction that governed all being. In the Aztec imagination, the universe had already been born and destroyed 4 times before. These cyclical epochs, called the 5 suns, were eras of existence ruled by different gods and different fates, each ending not by chance, but as part of the grand choreography of cosmic motion. The first world, the jaguar sun, was destroyed when giants walked the earth and were devoured by jaguars. The wind sun, the rain sun, and the water sun each rose and fell in turn, brought low by their own defects, until the age of movement, the current world, came into being. In this mythic cycle, existence itself was precarious, fragile, and beautiful in its impermanence. And from the center of this narrative came the Aztec insight that life is not a straight line, but a slippery path requiring constant adjustment, awareness, and balance. This instability was not fearsome for its own sake. For the Aztecs, it was a profound metaphysical truth that being itself is motion, that existence has no fixed ground, and that the universe is never at rest. They did not imagine life as a solid mountain to be climbed, but as a river to be crossed, a breath to be felt, a path to be walked with care. This was the heartbeat of their philosophical understanding. Existence is forever in flux, and wisdom lies in learning how to flow with it. But the Aztec philosophy was not abstract speculation divorced from life. It was embodied by their thinkers, the Tlematinim, of those who know things. These were poets, sages, and wise ones who reflected deeply on the nature of truth, meaning, reality, and human experience. The Tlematinim did not separate life from thought. They saw meaning in every act of living, in every sunrise, in every song. They understood that human life in an unstable universe demands reflection, expression, and art, not merely logic, but poetry. One of their deepest metaphors for this philosophical approach was in Xochitl, in Coatl, the flower, the song. This phrase, more than a mere artistic slogan, was an emblem of how the Aztecs reflected on existence. It stood for poetry, for creative expression, for the beauty that arises in transient moments, for the truth that reveals itself not through rigid formulas, but through the living interplay of symbol and song. Flowers bloom and fade, song rises and falls. Yet in that brief flowering, in that moment of music, something ineffable, meaning, beauty, truth, is touched, if only fleetingly. Poetry, to the Aztecs, was not trivial. It was a profound meditation on life and death, on beginnings and endings, on the nature of being. The poets sang of love and loss, of the human condition, of gods and stars, and of the fragile now between birth and death. This was philosophical inquiry in its richest form, reflections on existence grounded in the lived experience of beauty and impermanence. Through flower and song, the Aztecs explored meaning when certainty was impossible, and when every heartbeat might be the last. But if life was a slippery path shaped by cosmic instability, then how did the Aztecs believe this path could, in some way, be walked well? The answer lay in the interplay of duty, reciprocity, and the ethical demands of cosmic balance. To be human, in the Aztec view, was to participate in a grand web of interdependence between humans, gods, nature, and the universe itself. The world did not exist for humans alone, and humans did not exist for themselves alone. Every sunrise, every harvest, every breath was indebted to the forces that sustained life. This sense of cosmic responsibility was perhaps most vividly expressed in the Aztec concepts surrounding sacrifice. In Western discourse today, sacrifice often carries connotations of loss or duty abstracted from deeper meaning. In Aztec thought, sacrifice was a metaphysical idea woven into the very existence of the cosmos. It was not merely the taking of life, nor was it senseless suffering. Rather, it was an acknowledgement that the universe requires participation, that life and death are intertwined, that existence demands contribution. The gods of the sun and sky were imagined as giving of themselves, leaping into fire to create and sustain the world. In the Aztec cosmogony of the fifth sun, gods sacrificed their own power so that the sun might rise and life might continue. To participate in sacrifice, then, was not cruelty, but a profound reflection of cosmic reciprocity, acknowledging that life persists only through shared motion and effort. For us in the modern age, steeped in ideas of certainty and progress, this Aztec emphasis on impermanence, balance, and shared duty can be mystifying. We often think of philosophy as the pursuit of unchanging truth, as if truth is fixed and the world stable. We pursue happiness as a goal, a destination. We think of progress as linear, steady, and certain. But what if the universe itself is movement, change, instability? What if meaning is not a fixed point to be reached, but a dance to be learned? Consider for a moment what it means to live in uncertainty. Imagine a life without guarantees, without the promise of permanence, where every breath is a gift and every day a moment to be lived fully. The Aztecs did not recoil from this reality. They embraced it. They saw life's fragility not as a curse, but as a canvas on which meaning can be painted. They understood that impermanence itself, the very truth that nothing lasts, is the seedbed of beauty and depth. Pause here and reflect. In our own lives, how often do we cling to stability as though it were the only truth? How often do we fear change, seeking refuge in certainty? The Aztec philosophy suggests something else, that uncertainty is not a condition to be escaped, but a horizon to be explored. That existence is not a static foundation, but a movement alone, inviting us to participate, to give, to sing. And in that participation, in the acceptance of impermanence, lies the beauty of Xochitl, in Coatl, the flower and the song. To create, to express, to feel, to give meaning in a universe of motion. These were profound philosophical acts. They taught that life, though transient, is worth every fragile moment of attention, that meaning is not found in permanence, but in engagement with the world as it unfolds. Thus, the Aztec vision is not merely ancient religion or quaint myth. It is a philosophical orientation toward existence, an invitation to consider what kind of life honors the motion of being. What does it mean to act with balance in an unstable universe? What duties do we owe to life, to others, to the cosmos that sustains us? These questions resonate long after the stone temples have crumbled, long after the poet's songs have faded into memory. In a world where certainty often eludes us, the Aztec lesson remains striking. They did not seek refuge from change, nor did they embrace illusion as truth. They stood at the edge of existence, eyes open to the flux of life, and they chose to dance with it. They chose to create meaning in the very heart of impermanence. They chose to sing. If this journey into the philosophy of balance and motion has stirred your curiosity, subscribe for more explorations of human thought across cultures and ages. Share this video with someone who wonders what it means to live well in an unstable world. And in the comments, tell us, what does your philosophy of life say about uncertainty and meaning? Your reflections are part of the ongoing song of existence.